At TIS, teachers and administrators, parents, grandparents, and elders take care of students. Older students take care of younger. But perhaps the most important relationship is the one that a student has with himself or herself. At TIS, all students, starting at the youngest age, learn to take care of themselves, to grow as self-directed learners.
That should be the next question. Listen, if you had a chance not to come to school, would you come to school? Well, we did that. And here's what some of the kids said. One of them said, "Oh yes, I come to school. Why? Because I want to learn."
And I think that's one thing that's so phenomenal about TIS is that they allow a student to take ownership of what they're doing.
Self-directed learners initiate, construct, sustain, and own their own learning. They are active and interactive investigators, curious about their world.
They're constructing their own meaning, and constructivism is how people learn.
You learn how to learn.
I did this one all by myself.
That's great.
TIS achieves a high academic standard because even though they spend all this time intermingling with other people and things are not strictly devoted to rote education, it's achieved because you learn how to learn.
So what did you do?
I got the area of each shape, and then I added them all up down here.
Okay, we do not have a consensus. We have some people getting 148 and some people 142.
So what do you think that word says? And what I do instead of just telling them what the answer is ask them questions that would lead them to the answer and try to get them to help themselves. What's the first letter say?
F.
What sound does F make? Right. Legit, I know that you knew that, and I appreciate you not telling Dylan. You're giving him a chance to think, because he's a good thinker.
People who are economically disadvantaged, they feel buffeted by what the environment does to them. And so what we're trying to do is change it so that a child understands they are in control. They're the ones who determine, do I succeed? Do I learn this? Do I not learn? It's all about making choices and knowing that you have the ability to make choices. From the beginning, we want children to learn to choose what they read, or choose what strategy am I going to use to work on this.
Good reading. No, you used a lot of really good strategies.
Because all of those things are important things you need to learn how to do in life.
Most of the important things teachers need to do and say in the classroom are learned in the classroom, on the job.
Okay guys, put your eyes, I can see this isn't really working with your yellow folders. Lionel, your eyes should be on me.
I think I'm constantly refining my craft. I am not satisfied.
So we're going to do it again. And what we were using as our currency were...
Well, relentless, it's just you never stop thinking about how to improve the learning, how to make it more powerful, how to make it more effective.
We're going to do something different, and we're going to use poker chips.
Thinking about improvement means that TIS teachers never stop reflecting about how to do something better. They reflect on their own, and they also reflect with each other.
You can't let them see your anger.
And do you have some strategies you use? So this week was a golden opportunity to have some teaching that we could look at together. We could take some clips from raw footage of filming that's been done this week and really kind of process it together. So we're not going to see the whole lesson. We're going to see some little bits and pieces and then talk about just what do we see and, you know, what do we make of it and what can we learn from it. So this whole lesson's been planned based on a reading assignment, and one person did the assignment.
I feel like just having reading hour.
So I think we can all see and feel that consternation of, oh my goodness, one person.
I feel like just having reading hour.
Okay. They've done this review of what they were supposed to have read, which took a lot longer than anticipated, but now at least they have the background knowledge, so they're now going to start the taxation game.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Give it back to Tia. Give it back to me. Okay, everybody stop. Miles, that's disgusting. No. Why would you wreck the game just by being silly by blowing on it and wrecking the whole feeling of the game? Why? By being silly by blowing on it and wrecking the whole feeling of the game. Why, Miles? It's not as bad as I remembered in my own head. I thought the whole time everyone was screaming and jumping off the chandeliers. That was the end of that day. That's how I felt about the whole lesson. It was chaos from day one.
It's almost like anytime you don't have the whole class fully engaged in what you're doing, you're losing them, and it's mass pandemonium. It's that way if you pass out paper. It's just like passing stuff out. They start to get in their own little zone doing what they want.
When I'm passing things out, I continue with the lesson. I just make it part of the lesson. And I tell them ahead of time, I'm going to be passing this out. However, I'm going to be going over what we are redoing while I'm passing it out.
Yesterday, when the teachers had the opportunity to view some of the taping, I mean, that was just amazing.
It was uncomfortable, which is actually a good thing because it made me feel this is what the students feel like. But for me to grow as a teacher, I need to be able to look at myself and analyze myself.
Everyone stop. Stop talking.
I think it's important that teachers go out there and show their mishaps.
Why? Listen.
We all have them. If other teachers realize that they're not alone, but if something goes awry, we can just let's analyze it and learn from it. And that's what we ask students to do all the time. We are learners, and that's just another way that we learn together.